Hello and welcome to Handle Time. I have the legendary SKX781 aka Monster First Generation. This watch was released originally in the year 2000 and it was discontinued in 2012, so it had a very successful 12-year run. One of the things I love about this watch is that it is so unique. There's nothing like it, in a sea of Rolex Submariner homages or lots of influences of the sub. There's really nothing like this with this unique, very Japanese design. It houses the 7S26 movement, which is non-hacking and non-hand-winding. I got this watch, a new old stock, if you can believe it, from my local Seiko boutique like a few months ago. I saw it online, they had it on the website. I check a lot the website pretty often, and as soon as I saw this, I knew I had to get it quickly because it would probably be bought very soon, so kind of reserved it and bought it the next day. I know this watch is very popular, but I've really never been a fan of it. I've heard many people have that experience with this watch. They did not like it originally and then they fell in love with it. There's a lot of love and hate relationship between this watch. It's so unique, everything, the bezel shape, the case shape. Let me see if I can focus that on. It houses the 7S26 movement. This one has the A movement because it's from 2006, and some say the 7S26A movement is slightly better than the B and C variants, so I was quite lucky to get that. Now originally this Monster First Gen does not have a signed crown. However, this one came with it. It came with the signed crown because I believe that my theory is that it was since it was 15-16 years probably in a corner, abandoned and forgotten. At some point since 2006 in the Seiko warehouse, it was something must have happened to the screwed-on crown, and so it was replaced by this signed crown. It's actually for me it's quite a benefit, but I'll probably get the original crown, which is, some say it has the shape is very similar to the case shape, so I've seen it at about $30 to $40 on eBay, so I'll probably buy that one of these days. The Loom on this is fantastic, as expected by Seiko. It has the property Seiko Lumibrite, which is fantastic. This one has a ton of Loom. It's literally on just on a block there. Let me see if I can focus this a bit. It's kind of like three-dimensional. There's a noticeable texture to the Loom. Get this to focus. Yeah, there's a very nice texture to that Loom, and it lasts pretty much all night. I've set it to the light before going to bed to pop up the Loom, and then 8-9 hours later when it's still dark, I check it and it's still readable. The Loom, there's still there for it to be readable. It has a huge hour hand with an arrow, and a very long minute hand, and a second hand with a dot of Loom right there, some speck of Loom right there. Automatic Divers 200. That means this is a certified dive watch by the ISO, which has several standards, robust. Usually Seiko is quite conservative with their with what they say on paper, and they're really much more than you expect what they originally say. So if it says 200 meters certified, Seiko actually certifies it at 250, and the 7S26 movement. I forgot exactly the specs, but it's something like plus 35, 45 and minus 25, 30, something about there. But usually most Seikos out of the box are much better than that. Yeah, so Seikos are sometimes very much conservative with the specs. Now the bracelet, this originally came on the rubber, which is the Z20, which is this one right here. I put it in an Orient Triton. It's not the best rubber strap. I boiled it. Many people boil this, and so it has like this curvature after, but it's still not that most comfortable. However, the OEM bracelet for the Monster first gen, this is the OEM bracelet. I got it after at Long Island Watch by Mark. He's quite well known in the watch community. Seiko is not very much well known. You won't hear pretty often that a Seiko bracelet or strap is of good quality, but this one is very good, very good, especially for the price point. So it's 20, the lug width is 20 millimeters, but it tapers down all the way down to 18. It's a very nice brush. The brush and polished center links. Now the system, as many know, is a pain to adjust. It has the infamous pin and collar system. So it's basically two parts. Once I bought the strap, I sent it to I went to the Seiko boutique for them to adjust it, because I'm not very careful with those little tiny parts. There's two parts. However, once it's set, it's properly set, the pin and collar system, I think you don't have to worry very much. It's a very good system. There's a little bit less corrosion, and there's less chance for oxidation. So it has here's this clasp with 4 micro adjustments, solid end links, and each one of these is solid, it's not hollow, the solid end links. It has a diver's extension. It has a very nice tsunami on the case back. Yeah, so this bracelet is very comfortable. I very much recommend it. Yeah, it beats many Swiss watches way above the price point. I believe this Monster first gen, the MSRP was about $475, something like that. And when it wasn't discontinued between 2000 and 2012, you can get this much lower, like on the $200 marks. Once it was discontinued, I read that yeah, it went really up, sometimes even $1,000. Yeah, it's really hard to get this new today in 2022, so I was very lucky to buy this. The bezel is smooth as butter, is very good. There's a little bit of back play, but I love the bezel, how it is. It's a very nice sound. A little bit of back play, but this one lines up perfectly. As many know, there's a infamous Seiko QC issues. I haven't heard much QC issues on the Monsters. First, I haven't read, but maybe there are. Usually there's more on the other SKX divers, the 007, 9, 013, and lots of current Seiko models. But I haven't really heard lots of QC issues on the Monsters. This one, yeah, I don't see any misalignment issues with the chapter ring or the bezel alignments and the hour markers. This first gen has the seconds on the chapter ring. The second generation did not have those. Sorry, let me just focus this a little bit better. So the Hardlex crystal is domed, is a very nice shape. And let me do a wrist shot. For reference, my wrist is 6.5 inches or 16.5 centimeters. Yeah, as I said, it wears much smaller than the 42. It kind of wears more like a 40-ish. And here is a Loom shot as well. Here's the Loom and the monster. It's really good as expected with the Loom upright. So what are some of the pros and cons of this watch? Well, some of the pros, I just love the orange dial. It's so unique. Another pro is the case is so unique as well. There's nothing like this, the way it's cut, the shrouding on the bezel and case. It has drilled lugs, which is very good to see. Much more easier to swap out bracelets. And it's 20 millimeters, so there's a ample selection of straps you can get. It's an ISO certified diver, and another pro is that the bracelet is very looks great, and it's also quite comfortable with solid end links. Another pro is the fantastic Loom. The Loom is just, it beats so many prices above its watches above its price point. There's a smooth bezel. So what are some of the cons of the monster? So for the first gen, I'd say that the Hardlex crystal, many would prefer a sapphire crystal. The only benefit, to a Hardlex, if you're underwater, if you're diving actually, and if you hit it against something, usually Hardlex, mineral crystal, and acrylic, they are more shatter resistant, but more prone to scratches, and vice versa with sapphire. Although I've crashed sapphire crystals against the ground, they fall and nothing has happened, but usually they're more prone to breaking. Another con is that this houses the 7S26 movement, which is non-hacking and non-hand winding. For me personally, I don't care about that. I much prefer having a unique case, and it's the first gen, but for some I can understand that non-hacking and hand winding movement is a con. But besides that, I really don't see any more cons to this watch. It's just fantastic value for money. Now it's kind of more expensive, but when you could buy these for the $150-200 dollar range, it was just fantastic what you would be getting. Yeah, I just love the dial. It has the date. What else do you need really? It's just so beautiful. The case looks great on the wrist, and with the light, the way the bracelet catches the light. Let me focus a bit. It's fantastic, the center polishing and the dial. So I hope you enjoyed this review. There's already lots of reviews on the classic first gen, but I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you.